Aga m akpọrọ gị si n'ala onye ọma, kpọrọ gị si n'ala. Kpọrọ gị si n'ala, kpọrọ gị si n'ala. Omemma, aga m akpọrọ gị si n'ala. Chimaobi m, aga m akpọrọ gị si n'ala. Omemma.
Let me make sure somebody can unmute themselves. Sorry. Go ahead. You can unmute yourself. Go ahead. Go ahead, Adandimbo.
Joy.
Ezebinedi gwagara na-akpụ n'ala. Chukwu okike ya kpọgo. Ezebinedi gwa ụmụ gị agbakọnata. Nna m anyị na-eme ibe isi anyị na-eme ya ka anyị nọ na-eme. Onweghị ibe ọzọ anyị bụ n'obi ahụ njem nwere onwe. Ya ka anyị na-eji ijie. Anyị wee na-asị gị ezi Chineke biko bịa ka ị nọnyere anyị. Chụọrọ anyị ka a lawa ajọ mmadụ ọkachasị ndị nsabo. Ndị si na Biafra ya abịa. Ndị na-anụ ọgụ niile ebe a na-anụ ka ha wee fụdatị na Biafra ya abịa sị Chukwu biko ọgụ ahụ nwa ya nụrụ anyị ya. Gọzie anyị Chineke, gọzie ụmụ ife, gọzie ụmụ Biafra niile ebe ọnwụ na anyị niile anọ. Ezi Chineke, ma ana m akpọkwa gị n'isi awalida Maazị Nnamdi Kanu Ọhamadike. Nọnyere m ihe, gbaala m ya ume, were dọkịta na-agwọ ya ọya. Chineke biko ọkwago ka anyị nwee onye ọzọ. Otu aka aka na-akpọkwa n'isi ọbata obie udu akọ mmiri na mbiko ihe niile ugoko ọdịnaka. Anyị eme nke anyị ji nwụrụ mmadụ ma gị nwa ya eme nke iji wu Chukwu. Na m ana m asị aka ọwụna, ụdọ ọwụna, ezumezu ọwụna, osi n'elu osi na ọwụ ikwu ọwụ ibe onye ọzọkwa anya wụrụ. Ndị ji ọbata obi eji awalida Maazị Nnamdi Kanu asị m aka ha gbajie. Asị tinyere ha ọgbaghara ebe ọwụna ba nọ na tinyere ha ọgbaghara. Were ọgbaghara tinye n'etiti ya Chineke pịaba m ụtarị ka ọkụgbuo ha na-arụ. Mee ka ezumezu ha niile ha saa. Kpọpụtara ya awalida Maazị Nnamdi Kanu n'ọbata obi ya. Na m otu a ka si welekwa awasị OS wee tinye gị n'aka nna m ọkwago nwa wee ike yoo. Onye emekwe nke o ji wụrụ mmadụ n'ọkwago Chukwu na-eme. Nwa onye na-enye ike ajọ mmụọ ajọ mmadụ uke mmụọ uke mmadụ ebe ọsọkwa anya si onye ọsọkwa anya wụrụ ọsọkwa wụrụ mụnwa na-eche echiche ọjọọ megide asụ Chineke megide onye ọbụla na-emegide COS ayo ise ọwụrụ mụnwa na-emegide ya emegide m ise onye ọsọkwa ya wụrụ ebe ọsọkwa ma na-agwụ ije ọ na-agba n'elu ọ na-agba ya n'ala ọ na-agba n'okpu ala ọ na-agba n'elu bed asụ Chukwu asụ megide ekwene ka ba binye ekwene ka nna m ọbịa onye ọsọ enekwena anya n'ihu emekwa na-ebele alịrị aka wee luo mgbe niile ebighị ebi. Maybe you go ya go I like it in all right, thank you so much. Welcome, dear friends. Thank you so much for that wonderful prayer. We thank God for this opportunity to thank our own Obato Obie, His Excellency, the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra,
Anong kankan?
Odogwu kalili odogwu, mmụọ kalili mmụọ, ọbata obi ye, uzu aka.
Ọbata obie izu akọ mmiri. Ọbata obie izu akọ mmiri. Ọbata obie izu akọ mmiri. Udu akọ mmiri. Udu akọ mmiri. Ọbata obie 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 udu akọ mmiri. Udu akọ mmiri. Ọbata obie udu akọ mmiri.
Base ka anyị nọzi n'elu ihe na mbụ na mbụgodo ihe chọrọ ime ka Ngozi Orabueze mata ya bụ eziokwu. Ọbata obi atụkwara nga terorizm 6 years terorizm. Ị nwere idea ada? Ọbata obi Simon Ekpa Finland tụrụ ya nga 6 years for terrorism. Ị nwere idea?
Okay, for editing ọpụtago.
Mba ihe na-ekwu ihe dị na news ka na-eme analyze.
Okay.
Because enwere ihe some people enwe ha idea. Ha just na-agba Finland tụrụ ya nga 6 years for terrorism. Ngozi Orabueze bụ chief of staff Simon Ekpa bụ the chief of terrorism. So Ngozi Orabueze nwere question to answer because ọma ihe mere ọbata obi eji were eme terrorism. O so were support ọbata obi na terrorism o mere. So ọ bụrụ ọmụnwa bụ lawyer, Ngozi Orabueze nwere question to answer.
Yes.
Because mgbe niile ahụ Simon Ekpa dey terrorize ebe niile ahụ ọ dị eme terrorism ahụ Ngozi
Orabueze so ye.
Kee ihe o mere.
And onye nwa Ngozi Orabueze na-negotiate ihe that place maka chief of staff.
Chief of staff to Simon Ekpa who the terrorist atụrụ nga 6 years. Then Okechukwu Nkere alias Isaiah Anyaogu who the finance minister na-eweta ego Simon Ekpa ji terrorize ndị ọ na-terrorize. So which means I been a terrorism case. One person and her carry terrorism thing here like that. One person they make terrorism. One person they make in no be no change to no give we brave. One at street but we show them mad. I had to way each but the plan terrorist city to every pen a court. What is evidence from everywhere. The chief of staff will result in all I am.
Yes.
So the court to put in a fight.
Sure.
I'm going to invite a phone number. I got for communication. No one over to be the plan. I saw the terrorists over to be them. Mobile also to be only make terrorists. Okay, we are Chico, Simon Edgeheko. Okay, we are able to take a terrorist. So before I just send the ego terrorism, Simon is a terrorist now. Oh, when Catania Simon para before I send the Simon they go to terrorism. The way both of also Simon plan when he that.
Hey.
So how many when you hand move? How that is what goes around comes around.
Sure.
Simon Ekpa. I can one by one. They have questions to answer. Because that is how it works. When we put on coffee now, and when the case is something they do. I got you know like I got you know when I I'm going to Chinese pass release, but I got you know when I gave him about this particular thing. Gave him about a phone, got to your phone. But communication even with that person, say when other people in on our plan, because so we is that kind of on that terrorism man had to decide money. So we are here watching them. ndụmọdụ ihe ọzọ nwere ikwu gbasara Ngozi Orabueze ọsọ ebe illiterate ọ bịara ibe anyị educate according to the information dị ihe a na public kịta.
Biko kini kendi libot biko ni. Kini kendi libot. Kini kendi libot biko ni. Very important. Very important. And share. And share. There is love in sharing. There is love in sharing. There is love in sharing. There is love in sharing.
So, never. Nobody, no more. If Obato didn't bring this Biafra, oh no, wanna forget here about it. Anybody wanna the Golodu, say Nas Biafra, Super Biafra, I will be a saboteur. That person. I will be a sabo, 100% sabo to that person.
Look at you.
Look at you.
Look at you. Look at you.
Never. Nobody. No more. If Obato didn't bring this Biafra, oh no, wanna forget here about it. Anybody wanna the Golodu, say Nas Biafra, Super Biafra, I will be a saboteur to that person.
100 Guinea. 100 Guinea. How many percent?
I will be a sabo, 100% sabo to that person.
Una anunia. Kwuo ya ọzọ ka ọ ba ndị mmadụ na ntị.
Never. Ana m ekwu na-ekwusi ike. Nobody. No more. If Obato didn't bring this Biafra, onye wanna forget here about it. Anybody wanna the Golodu, say Nas Biafra, Super Biafra, I will be a saboteur
100%.
That person. I will be a sabo, 100% sabo to that person.
Thank you. No problem. Una anunia. So o kwuru ya ekwu ịma ihe na-eme ndị Igbo, ihe na-eme ndị mmadụ na-ekwu okwu, una na-epe ya attention. Mgbe nwaanyị a nọ na-ekwu ya na-akụ aka n'obi. Some of you feel na ọ bụ egwu. Una ma na nwaanyị dị serious. Una ma na ọ dị serious. Some of you na feel na egwu. But una afụndị ya now. Una afụndị ya. So ọkụ anyị na-emekwa na-aga. Unu ewekwana iwe, ana m abịakwa ekene unu. M bịa m ekene unu. Just nwee unu ndidi. Were ya nwayọọ. Idiot. Ebure gị amụma. Then gị epụzie n'ọbụ. Isi na amụma ebure gị mere gịnị gwa ụmụ Biafra ka ha nụ.
And the amụma niile ivulu bacha niile wasị. Because na amụma niile ivulu bụ nwere mgbe ivulu ma afọ na mma nọ na this mess nọ na. La amụma isi na mma nọ n'elu eluigwe na mụ ya wụ onye ya wụ emekwa ebe nkara ịnọ kịta. Ezie n'anya my condition. Ebe na amụma gị niile wasị. Enwere eziokwu dị ya nụ. It's Namunga will away great woman, the whole world, Ruanine Yamo, Macanazo, the Kumacane, Sekumunaso Promo. And Amuyama, no catching, no if you follow. And the Amu money in evil, Vajan in the Wase. Because Namu money in evil, but one of evil, Mavama, and man on this mess in no. And the amụma niile ivulu bacha niile wasị. Because na amụma niile ivulu bụ nwere mgbe ivulu ma afọ mma na mma nọ na this mess nọ na amụma ịsụ na mma nọ n'elu eluigwe na mụ ya wụ onye ya wụ ịmakwa ebe nkara ịnọ kịta banyezie n'anya my condition ịbụ na amụma gị niile wasị o nwere eziokwu dị ya nụ It's Namunga will away great woman, the whole world, the niile ya amụ maka nnaazụ na-ekwu maka nna-ese kpuru m na-asọ promo. Na mụ ya nọ n'elu kacha enu n'ife ịfụrụ.
Chinekele.
Mụ na Carolina Mbeza ya na ihe na ihe and the amụma niile ivulu bacha niile wasị. Because na amụma niile ivulu bụ nwere mgbe ivulu ma afọ mma na mma nọ na this mess nọ na amụma ịsụ na mma nọ n'elu eluigwe na mụ ya wụ onye ya wụ ịmakwa ebe nkara ịnọ kịta banyezie n'anya my condition ịbụ na amụma gị niile wasị na o nwere eziokwu dị ya nụ It's Namunga will away great woman, the whole world, ụwa niile ya amụ maka nnaazụ na-ekwu maka nna-ese kpuru m na-asọ promo. Na mụ ya nọ n'elu kacha enu n'ife ịfụrụ. Mụ na Carolina Mbeza ya na ihe efe anyị kacha. Ịbụ na ya na
Chee, Chineke gị ọlụwa ya ga-egbu m n'ọchị yo. Na-eburu ya amụma. Ee, Chineke rie. Amụmala n'ime nwaanyị ga-egbu m n'ọchị. Nwaanyị na-egbu m n'ọchị yo. Onye buru amụma. Onye buru amụma. Amụma. Na aga na-esekpuru ya. Chai! Chi! Ọ dị fụm ọfụna masị anọkọta mụ abịa na-esekpuru onye ka onye anọ n'ime ọhịa na-anaga. Chai! Chineke! And ndị isi ọfịa hụ ka m na-esekpuru ya ha gasị na-egwu na nwaanyị anọ n'ime ọhịa na-anaga ya ka ị na-esekpuru. Ndị isi ọfịa ga-abụ m asụ sef. Isi ọfịa people go pour spit for my face. Na nwaanyị ya anọ n'ime ọhịa ka ị na-esekpuru ya wudu ama.
Ada ndị bụ na ndị egede.
Nna ọkpa na-ama njijiji na
Ọkpa na-ama njijiji.
Ọkpa na-ama njijiji na ọnwụ na Biafra sọkọm.
Ka ọkpa na-ama gị jijiji ya dị ka enyu bene maka ọwụ onye chi enyu ọkpa na-ama ya jijiji. Gị enyu ọnụ na ọkpa ga-amazi gị jijiji. Egwu ọkpa na-ama gị jijiji na ọkpa na-ama gị jijiji. Ị chọrọ enyu ka ọ enyu bene anyụ. Enwere ụmụ nwaanyị ha chi enyu like this ọkpa na-ama ha jijiji. Ọkpa na-ama ha jijiji.
Hello?
Ada ndị bụ na ndị egede.
Nna ọkpa na-ama njijiji na
Ọjụ ga na-awarị.
Ọkpa na-ama njijiji na n'ọnwụ na Biafra sọkọm bụọ na nke a. Ọnwụ na Biafra mekịta sọkọm bụ unu sọkọm bụọ. Achinyere m ụlọ aka.
Ada ndị bụ na ndị egede. Ada gee ntị. Ka ịma jụrụ gị ihe a gwa dị early this morning ka onye sịrị ka m jụrụ gị ihe a. Gete mba na ịtọrọsụrụ ọdịnanwa nsị gị na ihe ji ekwukwe maka onye abụ na anya na afọ anya amaghị onye ọ bụ ịghọtara anya amaghị onye ọ bụ and my spirit na-agwa m ọdịnanwa ọ na-eklem onye abụ DSS agent ka onye abụghị onye Igbo
ọ gbafugo ugbu a but idiot ewu ịnọkwa nọ na ịmacha ihe niile a Chukwu ya akpọ gị ọkụ idiot.
Ọdịnanwa abụghị onye Igbo onye na-ekekwe m tikere ya detuo o enweghị ime ka a full statement ọgwụ onye nọ n'ala Igbo na-ekele m ọ nọ n'ala Igbo onweghị ime ka full statement nke asụsụ Igbo.
Ị na-anụ ya?
Ị na-agọta ị na-watch program ya na-ege ya
Sabo Faceless Unit.
So mana all this is ọbaghị uru ebe point nwere ịjụ ya bụ ha na-ekwu this is their charter 27 charter ha na-agụ for primary abụghị m a lawyer because ihe ndị ahụ ihe ọ na-akọ kịta number one godi o nwere red flag could face number one red flag o nwegodi ewu na gọọmenti nyere ọda ọ bụghị na fake gọọmenti original gọọmenti na agaghị enwe fundraising ọ bụrụ na ya na enweghị nọ n'itra ọ na-eklem ọ nọ n'itra o kwesịghị broadcast that fundraising that day. Number one mistake o megodiri face. Number two mistake o mere kịta ọ na-eme this exposition o wepụtara message COAC send area 2 messages. God body God say na send this nonsense here. Now God send area call me COS 2 messages so send area. Mana nyana we want to get finance former finance minister work in Kede. Want a message from Kede. Okay, number 2 4 to we go diri. The number 3 4 to as a media team as a media owo okele mo media. Ọrụ ya bụ ịnọ n'itụla ọkpọ oge nkere ya mee interview Biafra so nụrụ ajụjụ ọjụrụ oge nkere ọkpọ COS o mee interview taa ndị etu atọ ike media shi wee mee ka ihe nye Biafra United ịkpọ COS mee interview promote Biafran cause ka ihe nye ya si media and o nwere followers o nwere 130,000 followers ọ na-claim ka ihe nyere Biafra United ịkpọ chief of staff of Biafra government in exile. Can have to go to the United States of Biafra. Biafra's government in exile. Chief of staff ya Ngozi Orabueze, doctor. Ka ihe nyere ya anya sị media o nwere media. Ka ihe nyere ime ịkpọ ya mee interview. Nụta ihe o kwuru. Biafra jụọ ya ajụjụ. Ya na onwe jụkwa ya ajụjụ. Dị n'ọkpọ oge nkere. Oge nkere interview. Oge nkere apụtakwa gwa Biafra nso okwu. Biafra nso jụọ ya ajụjụ. Ka ihe a na-akọrọ ihe a sinsi. Enwebụ onye jụrụ oge nkere ajụjụ. Ha nọ na-akọ chata ị na-akpọ ị na-ekele ma bụrụ mee lọya ndị mere lọ ga na-anụ ihe anyị na-ekwu ebe anyị kwujuru ha gwa anyị na ebe anyị kwuru adịghị mma mana asị normal human being as ordinary person mbụ ihe m na-ajụ bụ ka ọ gụrụ ihe ọ gụrụ kịta chata for prime minister ya gụọra anyị chata chief of staff in the government ihe that chata kwuru chief of the government after ọ gụchara that chata for chief of staff in the government ya gụọra anyị in absence of the prime minister anọghị ya and the deputy prime minister when the deputy prime minister in that government onye ga-arun the government ọ bụrụ na a ga-emegara appoint anybody ka onye ga-coordinate ihe ka the work of chief of staff in the government and the work of chief of staff in absence of the prime minister. Ihe a simple something about ndị debe na-akọrọ anyị amaghị onye spirit. Everybody in the good, you must show your face. You must show your face. It's a sacrifice. Before I get into, you must show your face. How come we try at once? You know, let all of them come out. Yes. Now, come for the reason why Obato Biejin pocketed this guy is so. Because all that what spirit go. That is why Obato Biejin got this guy is so. What Eleaka? Obodiani no le men okay. Initial time on the claim. All map go from all join Nelly. All support Nelly. Don't their time. On about what message you made the day about. All join Nelly with the first of Galan. On the about the make nothing of Galan. All join in here you do. Manome no that ground they disappear. So many attack disappear. Among them must be born for months. Before Ojata support Okwabatobi, I'm not good over, so can I go do? So that all you are watching has to be affiliated on evil men. Last month, before I got this convention, on a program, actually be the program I will be here. I'm not just start analysis. Okay, boy on a phone. Yes. Na PM disappear. There were 2 days, nothing minute. Okay, boy on a phone, they want to the program. Yeah, on a live program, but go send a link. Okay, see, I need 30 minutes. Never on a call, research you. I'm going to okay. When a hotel could be okay, my whole na hotel could okay, no. Okay, to put it. When a hotel could be. And when on all the hotel Katata. Now watch it background here. Go and watch all the whole background. They book and carry on the program. All the different background hotels. Hey. All of that send the picture bridge. America on Kaino, or to line on Jamaica. Oh, when I be a France, banket, alo away, may I? Oh, when you are on the Massolinda, device. Massolinda, Solinda, Lord, and France, UK, here, and our French citizen, Okwebe. Never one hour, was he? Nama, I didn't Cameron of Vico can hear very, very important. They put me here in the morning in the program. They put me on Twitter this afternoon. The government should not wait. There's no time to waste. I say Mengwangwe made a order. The attorney should go direct to court. Court immediately. Let them come. Let them come. Here I was going government. We are in government. That is the government. Because they did it onye wana ma ihe ọ ga-akọ ma Biafra Unite ya bịawa na court. Ya bịawa na court and the court will America ebe ka akaụntụ dị akaụntụ ọ na-abanye na Nigeria ọnọ akaụntụ mepere na Nigeria akaụntụ ọ dị na Nigeria ụmụ Biafra onye n'onwe unu nsogbu. Let us see ọ bụ na gọọmenti anyị na-arụ ọrụ tụrụ na ha sị na ya bago United States of Biafra. This is the time they will show that thing. Nke Nigeria nke aka na-ekwu na akpọrọ ha na Finland ha na-agba ọsọ nke ahụ America ka a na-abịazi akaụntụ na America ka emepere ihe nke ahụ nke emude Nnamdi Kanu nọ na London na-eme broadcast aje kidnap onye na Kenya nke ahụ na America ka ha ga-abịa ebe a orire ga ebe a je meet ha na court. Let them come ka ha bụrụ ebe a biko ka ọzọ nwee ike itinye ọnụ.
Nando hi ụnọ onye na-adị ọ na-ewute m that na somebody I like so much. I like this man with hope na onye awụ mmadụ. A man that na ikuku. Hello. Madam shock this night.
Good evening.
Good evening, Nam. Good evening.
Ademma.
Hey!
And father is trouser. Ihe nna mekweni ka ị mara kịta bụ ọ wụrụ na anyị nwasoro the charter na anyị na-ekwu okwu onye ọbụla ga-ebe a eji m dọkụmentị ya eji m written of it eji m voice mail from ọbata obi o nwere ebe anyị si eme mistake ya mistake anyị na-eme ọ gịnị the charter both the reading mgbe PM na-agụ ya or see pronouncement of the charter, then we defend it. I defend Doya. I am when a ground. I was the ground. A dissolve all this very government. Only pronounce I dissolve all government. That is where the problem is. Only been the money she what I hear. PM tomorrow, I got on they give up. Name support, Marahiona support. That thing is written in that chapter. Only when a copy, go and read it. The Madneku, Ajihon, destroy Ahu, Ailenata. They are using their mouth to destroy both the propaganda during Ebenile. Any Makuroku before Moaneku. On a conic cause of public, Anapahamazo public.
Nachelong will eventually wait.
Yes.
Stop. Telegodon will eventually wag. In Weliki Numbobato BSC, that in a Biafra name will keep pronounce before no one koya a pronounce a declare before Biafra before 2nd of December. And the cook will again.
Yeah.
And Chelu, I just change you go as you do. Let us go one years old when everybody defended data. This charter is located. Yen in a PM name. Yen in a PM name since that 1 year now. On a charter. Go see with you.
That is one thing.
No. I just ask you a simple question. Because this charter now is 1 year this charter. And vote after vote. Yes. After this charter now. Ya can you say? Because ordinary one that now second declare Biafra. A declare before the time after with the Nigerian government up to today. When so my fundraising on him and I told you a jet on or from Chatakosia with you.
Because I don't know name of Fuma.
Oh, because of our name of Fuma.
I don't know.
So this I told me as this man again. No, don't. How? I don't know name of Fuma. Can this even go say that na COS? No, you take it over and I am more Fuma. Hello?
COS that after.
I'm not this idiot. Can people I call you again? Hello?
Good evening. Good evening, Muchineke. Nasim Kobudo Jeshini Yazeno. Good evening, Mazi Ojudo. Good evening. And the making Justin Vest. They was a hard picking. Wave. Okay, on the They won. Muchineke. Ekele m ọchị na-atọ m ka anyị ga-enọ nwaanyị ka nwaanyị ozi o jiri yesterday
into Nigeria. And we were told it is no victor, no vanquished. That's what they promised us. Even though what they said in their mouth is not what their actions are. We all remember we came back, our parents told us that they had to start from the scratch without anything. It doesn't matter how much you had in your bank, they only gave us what they said, 20 pounds. And that was the beginning of this journey. And ever since then, our parents, a lot of them, went to different parts of Nigeria. There is no tribe in Nigeria that has traveled far and wide as the Biafrans. And wherever we go, we not only become a part of that, keeping to their laws, but we also develop the place that we have found ourselves. So as far as Nigeria is concerned, the Biafrans have done it all. Yet, as their great-grandfather told them, the Usman Danfodio, that they must enslave us and they must Islamize us. And that's exactly what is happening. At this point, you remember General Effiong told them that they have to really be good to us. Because if not, the children or the great-grandchildren of those that fought the war will rise up again. Because in the face of humanity, human being must act, you must fight, you must find a way to survive. And that way of survival is what we are doing. We are saying, Nigeria, that we are exiting. There is nothing, there's no commonality between all of us. I know there's just one reason why Nigeria wants Biafra to continue to stay in this bondage, even though some of us, I don't know whether they do not realize, but that's a different story altogether. We'll get to that. But today, we are telling the Nigerians that the only solution is the disintegration of Nigeria, and that Biafra is already gone. We are gone. We cannot continue to stay under this condition. So I know today our Deputy Prime Minister and the Chief of Staff has some few things to update us on. And I'm going to call upon her. We're going to have to listen to her. And then, irrespective of what is happening, our freedom is in our hands. It's in your hand and in my hand. Some people will just say, where is the USB? What are they doing? And what are you doing? Can you give an account? If I call, and each and every one of us, can you genuinely give an account of what you've been doing? If you haven't been doing enough, and then you see all these people, all these terrorists trying to take our land, I'm asking you, the question today is not what is USB doing, is what are you doing? Because we remember one of the great presidents of the United States said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. On such a state that we are. If you are not doing anything and you're just complaining, you're waiting for somebody else, then you have failed not only yourself, but your generations to come. So arise, each and every one of us, and let's get it going. Her Excellency, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, over to you, Nemama.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you, FAMD.
Okay.
Thank you so very, very much. Thank you, Honorable Christopher, for holding the ground until we are ready. Thank you so much. I welcome everyone to this United States of Biafra government fundraising, where we meet every week to find ways to raise funds to stop the genocide of Biafran Christians in Nigeria and in Biafra land. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much, Fandi. Thank you, friends of Biafrans. Thank you, men and gentlemen of the press. Thank you, our allies that are watching and listening. We welcome all of you here. Again, Fandi has touched on something important, which is at the end of the Civil War between 1967 and 1970, we were told no victor, no vanquished. We were told let bygone be bygone. We were told everyone will be welcomed in the entity called Nigeria. But till date, since the independence of Nigeria, which happened in 1960, October the 1st, no Biafran has actively been in the president. It is not by accident, it is on purpose. It is a systemic plot to ensure that no one from Biafra land rules that entity called Nigeria. That is why we don't feel welcomed in that enclave called Nigeria. That was why the United States of Biafra citizens conducted a self-referendum where over 50 million Biafrans, both home and abroad, voted to exit Nigeria. We did that. Then we assembled in Finland on November the 29th, 2024, and declared the independence of the United States of Biafra. That is where we are today. We are defending that new nation with everything we got. No one, no country, no individual can stop the full participation of Biafra people in their freedom, in the building of their nation. And there is only one leadership in this continuum from our Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, whom the Nigerian government kidnapped from Kenya and sentenced him to death, because that's what it is. He has not done anything, no crime committed. His only crime was, I do not want my people to live in a country that reintegrates non-terrorists into the system, which is what the Nigerian state currently does. All the terrorists in the world, including Boko Haram, ISIS, ISWAP, all of them, the Fulani terrorists, all of them are freely welcomed into the Nigerian state as we speak. The only crime of our leader Nnamdi Kanu is we do not want to live in the same country where the government reintegrates non-terrorists, and these terrorists have an agenda to Islamize the whole country. Biafrans are Christians, to Islamize the whole country. And what do the terrorists do? The terrorists do what they are known for, which is mass genocide of Christians, eliminating Christians, taking over their homes, burning them alive, burning children alive, burning women and parents alive, locking them up in their homes, setting the home on fire, while children cry for savior. The parents, the mothers, the teenagers inside those homes, they begged to run away. They begged to leave. Christopher Musa and Tinubu empowers these terrorists in their killing. And innocent lives are lost every single day, even as we speak, in that enclave called Nigeria. That is why Nigeria must crumble for people to leave. The United States of Biafra government, we already exited Nigeria. No one can stop. No individual, no organization can stop that. Because the world has seen that there's nothing that can save that enclave called Nigeria. Nothing. So I want to use this opportunity to thank all Biafrans and remember our Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu. And we tell him, do not be moved. For that which you seek, you have gotten. We already got it. Do not be moved. We will bring you out from the enclave of the Nigeria terrorist state. It's a promise. Do not be moved. As everyone listening to me is aware, the Nigerian state, headed by Tinubu, Christopher Musa, the delegitimized governor Charles Soludo, Oti Mba Uzodinma, they connived among themselves. And they say the only thing they want is to kill Nnamdi Kanu, kill Simon Ekpa, kill Dr. Orabueze, kill any Biafran that is talking about the freedom, and just pick them up, lock them up, forcefully remove them from their homes, lock them up. The more you lock them up, the less they're going to talk about Biafra, the less they're going to talk about independence, the less they're going to talk about making the world a better place, the less they're going to talk about Christianity. Lock them up, jail them. And I have a list, thousands of innocent Biafrans that are in this category as we speak today. They've not committed any crime. Nigerian government reintegrates terrorists, recruit them into the military and the police and Nigerian security, the Air Force, the Navy. They recruit them everywhere in the immigration. And they use them to suppress Christians, to kill Christians to kill indigenous Nigerians and indigenous Biafrans. I want to also use this opportunity to remember our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa, whom the Nigerian state colluded with Finland to remove from our midst, tagging him engaging in something terrorist, in something to that effect. Alexander Stubb colluded with Nigeria. He believed Tinubu and Christopher Musa and their agents. That was why they arrested, the Finland government arrested Simon Ekpa, conducted a shambolic trial. We want to use this opportunity to let our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa not to be moved. Even though Alexander Stubb has locked you up for no crime, an innocent citizen that has lived in Finland, no criminality. Forget all that tax nonsense that we're talking about. No criminality, no criminal record. But Nigerian state colluded with Finland to arrest him and jail him. For what? For what? For the same thing that the world has seen, that Nigeria is a country of particular concern. A country that forcefully arrests people, kill people, harvest their organs, jail them for nothing, for no crime. And label them what they are not. Remember this word. Tinubu label innocent and indigenous Nigerians what they are not. That is why they collude with their globalist partners to try to attempt to silence innocent Biafrans, just like they did to Simon Ekpa in Finland. Nigeria is a lawless state. They have no respect for any rule of law. They don't know nothing except criminality. This week, all of us witnessed how the Nigeria military airship invaded a sovereign state of Burkina Faso with 11 army that Tinubu and Christopher Musa planted inside that aircraft to do what some of us are fully already aware. But we thank the president of Burkina Faso, Brahim Traore. We thank the AES countries for standing strong. Do not be moved, because Nigeria is a criminal state. We cannot allow a terrorist government to take over Africa. Nigeria is a terrorist state and must crumble for people to live. They do not like the AES countries. If you do not like somebody, what is your aircraft doing in that person's airspace? Who sent you? We know those that are in the background, but as I promise, those people, they will never succeed. So we want to tell our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa, do not be moved, for that which you seek we already got. Finland will let you go, whether they like it or not. They will let you go. Any second, Finland holds our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Any second, Finland holds Simon Ekpa. Finland goes down in the history of the world. Any second, they hold Prime Minister Simon Ekpa in captivity in their jail. Finland goes down in the world history. I'm telling you that. It's a promise. You must let Simon Ekpa go immediately. Nigeria, you need to release Nnamdi Kanu immediately. He has not committed any crime. The only thing he has done is what we are doing. And the world have seen and have heard our cries. The world knows we are innocent. The world knows that Simon Ekpa is not innocent. The world knows that Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. Now the whole world knows that Nigeria is the criminal and terrorist state that continues to terrorize its citizens. And the world knows Nigeria must crumble for people to live. I want to use this opportunity to let Biafrans know that as we move towards the full protection of our land, the Biafra land, the Nigerian state is not sleeping. They are using every means possible to distract us, to disturb what we are doing. But their gains, all their plans are already dead on arrival because we know how they roll. That is why they keep failing. Every step of the way, Nigeria keeps failing. We thank the United States of America President Donald Trump for what he's doing to make the world a better place. To make the world a better place, the leaders must have a policy to make that. It starts from the leaders. You cannot give what you don't have as a leader. The only thing Nigerian state has known is the killing of the indigenous citizens, the suppression, the oppression, the jailing, the using the barrel of the gun to intimidate people. That is all they know. That is why anyone thinking Nigeria can give you freedom, give you what you deserve as a Biafran, that means you've not been following. That means you don't know, you have no clue. Nigeria can never give you freedom because Nigeria is not a free country. Nigeria is not a free country. Nigeria is a terrorist state that murders its citizens by the seconds. We saw the 9 women that were killed a few weeks ago by Tinubu and Christopher Musa and their agents, because they send their agents. Anything the Nigerian military and police is doing is what Tinubu sanctions them to do, because Tinubu recruits non-terrorists into Nigerian military and police. So no one can expect anything different. Nothing must be different. There can never be any civil action from reintegrated terrorists that Nigeria recruits into their military and police and security apparatus. So I want to use this opportunity to tell Biafrans, specifically, all those people coming out now to say that they are IPOB, there is nothing like IPOB in the whole Biafra territory, in the whole 40 states of Biafra. Nothing like IPOB. Nothing. The indigenous people of Biafra is who we are. That is what Biafrans are. But what we found out is the Nigerian state, the criminal terrorist state now, is using the elements, some Biafran elements in Biafra land, to preach that word IPOB. Oh, we are IPOB. No. This is the IPOB organization that is working closely with the terrorist state of Nigeria. The IPOB that Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu founded is gone. It's no longer existing as an organization. So there is nothing like IPOB. Anybody coming out in Biafra territory to talk about IPOB today is working with the terrorist state of Nigeria. I want that to be clear. Even to all the international communities, there is nothing like IPOB. Anywhere, anyhow they come, pretending or using that name, IPOB, they are working with the Nigerian terrorist state. There is nothing like IPOB. The only leadership, the only support, the only declaration, the only people that own Biafra land today is the people, the citizens of the United States of Biafra. Anyone that says anything different from that is fraudulent, is fake, and no one should associate with anybody like that. And again, I want to make it clear. Anyone, any Biafran that says anything or does not support Prime Minister Simon Ekpa is against Biafran people. Anyone, and when I say supporting Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu, I mean 100%. Anyone that says anything against these two individuals is an agent of the Nigerian state and can never, ever be allowed in the leadership of Biafra people. Anyone. Our Prime Minister, his wish was to see a free Biafra where the reintegrated terrorists will not run us over. But some people that claim to be Biafrans abroad and in different places, they go around just misinforming the people, misinforming the world, misinforming gullible people like them. But our role as a government, as a people, my role is to make sure I inform you of the facts. Any Biafran, anywhere, in any country in the world that says anything against the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, Simon Ekpa, or the leader of Biafrans, Nnamdi Kanu, anyone that says anything against these two individuals is fraudulent, is fake, and is working with the terrorist state of Nigeria. Bear that in mind. So there is nothing like IPOB in this Biafra nation, the one we know today, the one we are trying to protect, the 40 states of Biafra. So I want to tell Biafrans to be very, very mindful of some of these disgruntled elements pretending to be talking about Biafra. Awonyendu Nnamdi Kanu has already said it. The restoration of the independence, the freedom of the people of Biafra must come from the diaspora. So any of them you see, because those Biafrans inside, they do not even know what freedom is. People, they cannot give you what they don't know. How can they give you what they don't know? So I want to let Biafrans be very mindful of these criminal elements parading themselves as Biafrans inside Biafra land. They have nothing to offer except move you back to the terrorist state of Tinubu and Christopher Musa, which Biafrans have already exited from those individuals. So do not be fooled. Again, the United States of Biafra government, our task primarily is to defend the security and safety of Biafrans in the 40 states of Biafra. We want to stop the killing being conducted by Tinubu using the delegitimized governors like Charles Saludo. You saw, all of you, the agent that killed an old locksmith. A locksmith, his job has always been to repair guns, to repair rifles. That has been his task. That's what he known all his life. But Tinubu and Saludo has ordered their agent to kill that innocent man publicly last week or this week. This trauma cannot continue, I promise you. Currently, Nigeria is occupying a foreign territory. They are occupying a sovereign state, which is the United States of Biafra land. Nigeria must leave Biafra land. This country of particular concern, They must leave Biafra land. We will make them leave Biafra land. They must leave us. We have nothing to share with a country of particular concern. The United States of Biafra government is building one of the best countries in the world. With one of the best defense in the world that goes through the international humanitarian law trainings and so many trainings that is equipping us to fight the terrorist state of Nigeria. We will do that. There will be no terrorists that will have a safe haven in the United States of Biafra country. None, zero is a promise. The United States of Biafra people continues their voluntary Monday sit at home. We will continue to do that until we fully remove all the delegitimized governors holding positions in Biafra land, all the reintegrated terrorists wearing Nigerian military and police uniform inside Biafra land. Until we remove all of them, the Monday voluntary sit at home in Biafra land continues. As of today, we all Biafrans in the 40 states will voluntarily continue that Monday sit at home. Again, only on Mondays, the voluntary sit at home continues. I want to use this opportunity to let Biafrans know. Any of these individuals that are pretending to be talking about Biafra and they are posting fundraisings in any Biafra WhatsApp platform, please bring it to the notice of our finance minister or myself. None of them have the right to do that. Again, I have a list of innocent Biafrans still in the custody of Tinubu and Christopher Musa and Soludo. Innocent Biafrans, two of them that marched for the independence of the United States of Biafra on 29 November 2025. Tinubu and Christopher Musa ordered their reintegrated terrorists wearing military and police uniform to arrest those two innocent guys and so many others. They've not released them. I'm calling on the Nigerian state, the delegitimized governor, Tinubu and co, to release thousands of innocent Biafrans that have not committed any crime. You are holding in your custody so that Biafra will not come. Release them. Release them. I want to use this opportunity also to let Biafrans know that the Usbg online market has been suspended until further notice. Okay. It's been suspended. This suspension is due to the compromise of using people who hijacked the United States of Biafra platform, who colluded with the Nigerian state to hijack our website. Biafrans have seen them in the presentation on that Usbg online market. For that reason and others, is suspended till further notice. I want to use this opportunity to also let Biafrans know that the mission, the United States of America fact-finding mission that was sent to Nigeria, most of their reports have reaffirmed that there was genocide in Nigeria. There is genocide in Nigeria. It's still ongoing as we speak. Tinubu still have told Soludo and the Nigerian delegitimized governors in southeast and south part of Nigeria to forcefully continue to remove innocent Biafrans once they talk about Biafra, once they talk about our independence. Tinubu has order, it's a standing order from above to arrest them, jail them for no crime, just because we have witnessed our freedom, we've declared our independence. So Tinubu has doubled his arrest of innocent Biafrans like us, but we will ensure that we let him know that self-defense is our right. Self-determination is our right. We have a right to declare our independence, which we have done. And this crime that Tinubu, Christopher Musa, Saludo, the delegitimized governors, this crime they are conducting in the southeast and south parts of Nigeria, they will pay the price. We will make sure that they are conducted, they are taken to the appropriate courts of authority for human rights abuses, for crimes against humanity, which Charles Saludo is committing as we speak. Thousands of innocent Biafrans are locked up in different jails, in different cells across Nigeria and in Biafra land. They've not committed any crime. And you know, their wish is by locking them up, just the way they locked Nnamdi Kanu, just the way they colluded with Finland to take our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, just as some of them are even planning, maybe against me, against some Biafra. They think that by taking us out, that the full restoration of Biafra will not happen. But I'm telling them, they must stop that mindset. They must stop. These killings must stop. This arrest must stop. These kidnappings must stop. And I've said it again. I am ready to talk. I am ready to talk with the Nigerian state leaders. I am ready to talk. These killings must stop. These killings by Tinubu and Christopher Musa, you cannot sustain this killing. The delegitimized governors in Biafra territory, you cannot sustain these killings. This kidnap, this oppression, this using the gun, the AK-47 you give to these terrorists to intimidate our people is not sustainable. I'm telling you. The earlier you come to the table, to the United States of Biafra cabinet, nobody else, the earlier you do that, the better we start saving lives. Again, Biafrans, today I had the opportunity to have our breakfast with Senator Dolezal, who is going in for the lieutenant governor for the state of Georgia. And at the right time, all Biafrans I know will put their vote for this good guy. And when you see leaders talk, one thing I took from his speech today was the role of the government. The role of the government. The role of the government is not to perpetuate themselves in power. That is what the Nigerian state and the delegitimized Southeast governors are doing. That is not your role. The role of the government is to secure and protect the right of the citizens, the God-given right of the citizens, the God-given right of the citizens, the right to associate, the right to be free to speak their mind. Those basic rights, those human rights that has been given to people, the role of the government is to secure that from people who don't give it to the people. That is what I am doing. That is what the United States of Biafra government cabinet is doing. We are securing those rights, those God-given rights from the leaders who don't know about it, from the leaders who don't give it to the people, from the leaders who don't know about it, from the leaders who believe that it is only by the barrels of the gun that they can live. My job is to secure those rights from them and give it to the Biafran people. That is what the United States of Biafra government, the United States of Biafra country, that is what we are doing every second. And I'm telling you, we are succeeding every day. We are succeeding by the minute, by the little milestones we are taking, which we are seeing the results all over the world. We are succeeding. It is my task to ensure that those rights of the citizen, the God-given rights, is protected. Again, we want to do our fundraising. I encourage everyone listening to me, please continue to donate to the United States of Biafra government. We are using this for the humanitarian purposes, for building our new nation. For removing, we protect our people, we protect our land from the reintegrated terrorists brought in by the delegitimized Southeast, South governors, sponsored by Tinubu, Christopher Musa, and the Nigerian state. Nothing good will come out from Nigeria. Is already gone. Any international world leader that has not seen that at this time, maybe you've not been following. We must continue to take care of these thousands of innocent Biafrans that are being locked up by the Nigerian state. Most of them, their children has dropped out of school. Their wives have no food. Their husbands have no food. Their dependents, because these are breadwinners, their dependents have nobody to help them. That is why we do our fundraising every week, to ensure that these thousands of innocent Biafrans locked up in different jails by Nigerian state, we bring them out using our legal entities, our legal personnel in Biafra land. Please continue to donate. Now is the time you have to triple your donation. The Nigerian state is fighting. Tinubu is fighting. Christopher Musa is fighting to ensure that we do not do this fundraising. It's one of their major tasks. Because they believe that if we don't do fundraising, then they can kill and continue to kill our people, the Christians, continue to commit the genocide and put the fear in us. But I tell them, Biafrans at home and abroad are now more brave than never before. I'm telling you. Now we are much more determined to protect Biafra territory, the 40 states, from the reintegrated terrorists brought in by the Nigerian state. So Biafrans, please continue to donate. Continue to support. And you all have been doing that. I want to let the world know. Over 98% of Biafrans support the United States of Biafra government, led by Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, and my humble self, Dr. Orabueze. There is nothing else that is out there. Nothing, I'm telling you. Everything must come under this continuum, under one continuum. Anyone telling you anything different from any corner, they are not sincere. They are the fraudulent elements of the Nigerian state, which they want to use to destabilize this continuum. But Biafrans, do not allow them. We will not allow them. They are failing by the second. Nigeria must leave Biafra territory. We've declared our independence. The wishes of the people must be respected. The people have spoken, and so shall it be. Thank you so much, Biafrans, and over to you, Alfandi.
Thank you, Her Excellency. Thank you for briefing us. And this is the only place you get the real deal, the real news, unadulterated. If you're having problem or if you're confused with all the confusionists, this is the place for you to come and then have it all straightened. If we say the way it is, and then we really do as a government the right things that we're supposed to do. So if at any point in time that you need some clarification or you're confused, please call upon the Deputy Prime Minister or the Cabinet. You will always have those that know the right thing and what it is that we are doing. All the achievements and all the activities of the United States of Biafra, they're all there on the Twitter. You can go to Homeland.
Applying for your ID card, making your donation. The only authorized now is the United States of Biafra.org. It's one word, United States of Biafra.org. When you go to the site, you will see everything about the United States of Biafra government. Remember, we are evolving. We are evolving. So nothing like Usbg.org anymore. We don't use that anymore. We don't use BSA anymore. It is United States of Biafra.org. So please pass this information to all your countries, to the 40 states, to everyone that has the interest of the Biafra people at heart. United States of Biafra.org. One word, one word. Thank you so much.
So you can use, we have 2 bank accounts now. You can do straight to the bank accounts if you want to do transfer or Zelle. So you can do straight to the bank accounts. But the site is United States of Biafra. If you're having any problem, you check if you belong to any of the groups and the platforms, you can please go there. And then the easiest way for you is where I have that United States of Biafra, the link. You just click on it and then it sends it to you. And also I noticed that a lot of you using your credit cards and debit cards seem to be having some problem. You shouldn't. It is very easy. When you get in there, just follow the instructions. Do not click on anything. After putting in your name and then the amount is you're gonna see where it says, debit credit card. Just continue straight to put the information for your bank. Do not go clicking Stripe or the cards or anything, because I think a lot of people just go there, keep on clicking. Sometimes when you click so much, the system might think, that you're trying to do something. So that's why it locks some people out. Please, it's very, very simple. And I'm sure a lot of us are getting, their hands on it right now. So if you have any question, anytime regarding your payment, please call on your rep or call on your administrator, or you can call me, just for clarification. Thank you, and let's continue. And if there's anyone here today that has a question or have something bothering you that you want to say, you can say so. You can do so at this moment. Let's continue. Honorable Mouthpiece, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. And also, you can also see the donate sign on.
It's going on. I'm still going to make sure.
Biafra, United States of Biafra, Defense Force, lives of people. Yes, we need money, but working for the people of Biafra, but secretly colluding with the Nigerian terrorist state to ensure Biafra does not come. You see, they can't give what they don't have. They don't know what freedom is about. They don't have it. All they have is somebody that will come and give them money. This restoration is not about money. Yes, we need money, but it goes stronger, more to what our forefathers, our grandfathers, our fathers suffered between 1967 and 1970. That which happened that time and which continues to happen now. as Tinubu and Christopher Musa and the Nigerian state continue to forcefully remove and kill indigenous Nigerians and indigenous Biafrans. This is a serious case. This is very, very serious. We are talking about the lives of people that are being murdered every day by the Nigerian state. The other day, they saw over 100 people in a morgue in southeast part of former southeast part of Nigeria, where over 100 decomposing bodies, decomposing dead bodies were discovered under Tinubu and Christopher Musa and Soludo and the whole Uzadema. This is how they continue to kill innocent indigenous Biafrans. They dump them in that morgue and they harvest their organs. They dump them there. They kill them at the tiger base. That tiger base that Nigerian government is using to kill our people, that tiger base must be destroyed. I'm telling you, because thousands of innocent Biafrans are locked up in that tiger base and they've not committed any crime. That is one of the chambers used by Nigerian state to kill, to forcefully remove and lock up innocent Biafrans. So, Nigeria has no business being in Biafra land now. We have the United States of Biafra, 40 state governors. We have the commissioners that are active, working every day. We have the United States of Biafra elite squad, the anticipatory defense system of Biafra land. They are in the 40 states of Biafra land. The United States of Biafra Government Liberation Army, Biafra, United States of Biafra Defense Forces, the Navy and Air Force. They are the only one. They are the only people at this time allowed for the defense, for the security in Biafra land. These are indigenous Biafrans in our land. They are scattered all over. They are in the streets, they are in the forest, they are everywhere. Currently, Nigeria has no reason to deploy any other security apparatus or security force inside the 40 states of Biafra land. We will not accept that. We will make them leave Biafra land because we have our own security. I'm using this opportunity again to call on Tinubu, the Nigerian state, to remove their elements, every element of Nigerian state, whether they are the army, their police, their security, they are the legitimized governors, remove them from the 40 states of Biafra land because people have declared, the people have spoken, and we will protect our land. We will defend our land from the reintegrated terrorists recruited by Tinubu and co, recruited by the Nigerian state is already gone. It's already failed. No one can stop that failure. A place where hundreds of Christians are murdered every day. What are you going to do with such country? And again, I want to call all those Biafrans that we are thinking or believe that there is something that can come out of Nigeria because Tinubu gave you one small position or the other. You are doing more danger, more harm to your own people, to your own sons and daughters. You are limited to what you can be in Nigeria. You can never aspire to the highest position in that failed entity. So the earlier you start supporting the United States of Biafra government, we have the governors in your locality, in your state. Ask who is the governor in your state. Start supporting them. Ask who are those, who are the commanders of the United States of Biafra Defense, the elite squad. Start supporting them. Give them what they need to remove the Nigerian terrorists from Biafra land. And overall, whatever the legitimized governors, whatever Tinubu, the Nigerian state, whatever equipment they bring inside Biafra land, we are going to use them, use those equipment to destroy them. It's a promise. Thank you so much. Go ahead, for me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. I have an update from space.
Please, Honorable Mouthpiece, please, anyone here that wants to make that donation, do so, because today we're not going to stay all that long. This is, you know, this is Christmas time, and then we have some responsibilities, you know, to run around and then do some things for our families. Please, so we're not going to be here all night till maybe 7, 8 o'clock. So please come on as quickly as you can so that we can get it done on time.
Me
Then,
too.
yes.
I'm going to a party, so but
Please,
I'm
please.
here. So
all right, so you go ahead.
Yeah. So Gab Gallant, that's Honorable Kenneth Nathaniel of Lagos.
Clement.
Okay.
They are a British man. They love you.
They were attached to
all over the world.
Anonymous.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Udrak, the Honorable Secretary for the United States of Biafra Cabinet. And again, I know we have so many minutes. I can't even remember when I was looking for you, but again, again, just like to follow up to what our Honorable Secretary, Honorable Udrak has said. I want Biafrans to know that anyone, and I think I'm just trying to emphasize on this, you cannot love Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu and hate Simon Ekpa.
Oh.
So I want everyone to write that down somewhere.
Must.
The must is capital must. You cannot like Simon Ekpa and not like Dr. Orabueze. That's not going to happen. The must is... So again, the reason why I want to emphasize this is the people that are used by the Nigerian state to fight the freedom of Biafra, they come with different talks. They come with different opinions, with different ideas. Biafrans have seen enough. They've learned enough. Biafrans must know there is nothing like IPOB in the freedom of Biafra today. The IPOB that was founded by our Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu has been destroyed and bastardized by the DOS, by Chinas Amolu, Emma Powerful, Benjamin Madubugo, Ijele Ikenga, all these people, Jovika.
Marcus Comis.
Yeah.
Video was stopped.
The IPOB Onyendu founded has been destroyed by these individuals that I mentioned their name. There is nothing like IPOB again, as an organization. Let them confuse we as a people. We are the indigenous people of Biafra. That's who we are. But we have a continuum of leadership in the United States of Biafra, in the Biafra People's Defense and Freedom, which is from Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu to Simon Ekpa to Dr. Orabueze. Anything outside this is fraudulent. Anything outside this are the agents of the Nigerian state. Anyone supporting them, you are going to continue to support genocide in Nigeria, genocide in Biafra land, genocide on the Christians. So you cannot deal with them. The one called Uchechi Okukanu, that one that is deceiving herself and trying to deceive people, some people that she has no interest of the freedom of Biafra at heart. None, zero.
That's why I'm saying she should shut up.
Yeah, she did all this while that the husband was held by the Nigerian state. She didn't do anything. All she did was to collude with Bianco Juku, who is a foreign affairs minister. The task was to go and arrest make sure Simon Ekpa come to Biafra land. That was their plot. Uchechi plotted so that Simon Ekpa can come back to Nigeria, because Tinubu promised her and Bianca that if Simon Ekpa get to Nigeria, they will live in Nnamdi Kanu. That was why the woman is just she's in the trash can of Biafra history. She's in the trash can.
Amen.
Of Biafra history, just like our Honorable Secretary Udrak has said. She's in the trash. Anyone trying to work with her or revive her, that person will go down with her. She plotted with the Nigerian state to kill Simon Ekpa. And at the end of the day, we are here, unless the USB cabinet is not involved, unless I am not here. At the end of the day, she failed. With those she colluded with, she failed to move Simon Ekpa from Finland to Nigeria. And now what did she do? She thought Nigeria liked Biafrans. She thought Nigeria, Onyendo Nnamdi Kanu has said, work with Nigeria and come back in shame. Mm-hmm. She plotted that evil against Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Even though what Prime Minister Simon Ekpa was doing, what he was preaching is exactly what American government have done to make Nigeria a country of particular concern, nothing more, nothing less. To show you that that woman, this Uchechi is evil, very evil woman,
very useless,
plotted for the killing of Simon Ekpa. And at the end of the day, what happened? She thought she could bargain with Nigeria. So when Nigeria could not, they will continue to fail. What did they do? They told the woman, oh, there's nothing we can do. We're going to kill your husband. Let me tell everyone listening to me, Nnamdi Kanu, the plot is to kill him by firing squad publicly to ensure they scare Biafrans. We don't talk about that oil that Nigeria is getting from Biafra. We are blocking that oil by the second, I'm telling you. So that plot, which Uchechi has with Bianco Ojukwu to move Simon Ekpa to Nigeria failed. We make sure it failed, and they will suffer. They will be in the law courts. They will take consequences for their crimes against humanity, because Simon Ekpa has not committed any crime. Nnamdi Kanu has not committed any crime. But these criminal elements that work with the Nigerian government, they believe, they think they can plan or contract with the Nigerian state. They have no clue how the full terrorists because we are out to defend our land. They can't cross Biafra land. up in Nigerian prisons, in their military camps, in their security departments. Lord, leave them alone. Let them go. Let them go. Because we are out to defend our land. I promise you, we are going to be defending it by the second. So I want to use this opportunity to let that woman called Uche Chokukano, don't mention Simon Ekpa in your name anymore. Stop calling him. You cannot love Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu or like him, and you hate Simon Ekpa. That means you are fake. What our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa did, what he has continued to do, the fight for his people is what America has helped him now to do by designating Nigeria a country of particular concern. Exactly. And within this period, the world has seen the criminality of the Nigerian state, not just in the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, but also the people, the politicians that are working for the Nigerian state, they are people of particular concern, PPC. Because it takes people of particular concern to make a country of particular concern. So I'm telling you, 90% of politicians under the Nigerian state at this moment are people of particular concern, and they must leave Nigeria Senate or House. You better leave right now, because you will be in the court, in the international court, to defend yourself against the policies which you have signed, which you have approved, that led to the death of thousands of indigenous Nigerians. You will be in court very soon. So I'm imploring you to leave the Nigerian Senate or House of Representatives. Immediately leave them and go fight for your own people, because Nigeria is already gone. Nigeria is going down by the second.
Thank you.
So I want to use this opportunity to tell Biafrans, because what that Uchechi is, what she's talking about now is the IPOB. So when I tell you all, there's nothing like IPOB. It is because of people like this Uchechi and co, and their criminals. And you all hear Opara, our Honorable Opara said about experience. The IPOB, they have nothing to offer Biafran people. They are not for the freedom of Biafran people. They are agents of the Nigerian state in different formats. Is funding them, is giving them millions of dollars every second to continue to do what they are doing. But you know what? Even if Nigerian government give this Uchechi and her cohorts that are shouting at, even if they give them $5 trillion, they can never win this final battle. It's a problem. You see this $1 $2 we are getting here. Biafran people are very happy about that, and they will use that to defend their land. It's a problem. Again, every Biafran is a soldier. Yes. Every Biafra is a soldier. That is why we have the United States of Biafra elite squad on the streets of Biafra land and everywhere. Every Biafran is a soldier. Do not let the plot of the Nigerian state to use that name IPOB of the people to deceive anyone. This church is working closely with the DOS. And all of you here, you know the evil, the dangers that the DOS has done to the freedom of our people. Once Onyendu was removed, it was this DOS that contracted our Biafran Defense ESN to the delegitimized governors. They pushed them to them. To do what? To continue to kill the genuine Biafrans that are fighting for their freedom. Not anymore. We have stopped that. So you must know Nigeria hates Biafrans, because the mineral and oil resources which they take from Biafran land and ship it abroad, while our people die in abject poverty, they want to continue that business, but we have stopped them. We will continue to stop them, regardless of who you are. You cannot continue to milk the natural reserves from our people on the blood of Biafrans. That is not right.
Amen.
That is not right. You cannot continue to do that. So if you're an international community, any country in the world, you have any oil contract with Nigerian government, you have to cut off that contract immediately. Biafra people will cut it off. But it's for you, for the interest of your own people and your own country, to ensure you stop that exploitation of the Biafran people, of indigenous Nigerians. The money you give to Nigerian state, to Tinubu, they use it to equip the terrorists. And those terrorists they equip, they will attack your country. I promise you, they will attack you. That's why you must stop the funding of and having any business with Nigerian state, because they are collapsing already. And Biafrans and indigenous Nigerians, don't be moved by all these shenanigans they post on social media that signed this contract with China, with this one, with Iran. Forget all that thing. Tinubu's agents on the social media, they are crumbling, they are failing by the second. We know their medicine. We'll continue to give them the medicine. And his terrorist gang will do anything to remain in power. It's all about remaining in power. So we must remove them out of that power. That is the only way. The delegitimized governors in Biafra territory, we must remove them from that power because we have 40 state governors. The Nigeria terrorist state has a calculated systemic plot to ensure that Biafrans and indigenous Nigerians continue to be killed. It's only the indigenous Nigerians that will talk about the genocide, that will talk about the killing of Christians, the displacement of Christians, launching people in IDP camps. And I thank President of the United States of America to stop the funding of anything, NGO in Nigeria. Do not fund them anymore because they use the money you give to fund terrorism, to using it to help indigenous. No Nigerian has any reason to be in IDP camp. But that is where Tinubu and Christopher Musa have dumped thousands of indigenous Nigerians to be in IDP camps. While the reintegrated terrorists he brought into Nigeria take over those people's homes. That criminality is not sustainable. That is why if you're a foreign nation doing any business with Nigeria, you must cut it off immediately. Immediately. Because Nigeria is a terrorist state. They are killing innocent indigenous Nigerians, innocent indigenous Christians, and they are killing innocent Biafrans. You, as a country, you cannot, I know you will not support those kind of killings. That's why you must cut off any business you have with the terrorist state of Nigeria. Almost all their politicians they send to your offices, to your countries. Do not allow any Nigerian politician in your land, in your country. These are spies they're sending to your offices. Don't allow them. They will come in the next minute, they have their helicopter hovering around you. And I want to use this opportunity to let everyone listening to me to know ECOWAS is being controlled almost 90% by the Nigerian terrorist state. So if you are an African country and you still are in ECOWAS, you must exit ECOWAS immediately. You must exit ECOWAS immediately. They do not have the interests of the people at heart. They do not respect those human rights charters that they signed. They have no interest except the continued plot by the Nigerian state to use ECOWAS to intimidate those leaders, those countries that say enough of your criminality, enough of the genocide. ECOWAS must fail. There is nothing like ECOWAS. So those few African countries in ECOWAS, you must exit ECOWAS immediately. It's being controlled by the Nigerian state. Every action in ECOWAS is being controlled by the Fulani terrorists Unless you are promoting Islamization and terrorism in the world, then you can remain in ECOWAS. But we, the United States of Biafra, we are a Christian nation. We do not have any business with ECOWAS. We will continue to align with countries like the AES that are ready, that have stand up to challenge ECOWAS, to challenge the genocide, to challenge the criminality of Tinubu and the Nigerian state. The only thing Nigeria uses ECOWAS to do is to continue the genocide of Christians around the world. That is why you, as a Western leader, you cannot support ECOWAS anymore. ECOWAS is no longer that which they used to be. I want to use this opportunity to remind Biafrans the ID card, our ID card verification. I think we've now placed it every Monday. So those of you that have applied for your ID card, we're going to do the verification on Monday by 6 p.m. Biafran time. We're going to send out the Zoom maybe after this fundraising. Look out for that and make sure you log in for your verification. Every Monday, we're going to be doing that every Monday by 12 noon Eastern, which is 6 p.m. Biafran time. And again, we are on the final phase to conclude for our United States of Biafran passport. And in the next couple of weeks or months, we will be having our allies that will be supporting us, and Biafrans will be able to fly freely with our United States of Biafra passport to the countries that our allies belong to. But again, all Biafrans, every single Biafran, 50 million Biafrans that voted for a self-referendum, continue to apply for your ID card. Very soon, we are going to roll out our plans for the United States of Biafra ID card in homeland. We're in the final process of rolling that out. For now, the ID card is only for Biafrans in diaspora. And I'm here to announce that the United States of Biafra security documents, including our ID card, has been verified and accepted by some countries in the world, in the Western world, as an ideal form of verification. It is the United States of Biafra, nothing IPOB, nothing. Those IPOB that are working with the terrorist state of Nigeria, Nigeria designate them as a terrorist organization, even though they are not. So there is nothing like IPOB in this final push to protect our land, to have our freedom and start building our country from the scratch. I want to thank the Biafran fathers and the Biafran mothers and the Usbg cabinets that are donating towards our cause. And I also want to let the world know, Tinubu has been arresting innocent Biafrans or any friend of Biafran or anyone that support Biafran. The last time the Nigerian DSS listed an innocent friend of Biafran, Ali, if you all go and look at that publication from NT or whatever, they listed Ali Global, an innocent businessman, as a terrorist financier. And I'm using this opportunity to tell Tinubu, leave Ali alone. The Nigerian DSS, leave him alone. He has not committed any crime. He has not committed any crime. He has not committed any crime. DSS, you listed him, Ali, as somebody you are going to prosecute next. After you've killed Nnamdi Kanu, you need to stop. You need to stop. He is not a terrorist financier. He's not a terrorist. All he does is money business. That is his genuine business in Nigeria. All he does is money business. Money exchange. But Tinubu has labeled this innocent man as a terrorist financier. That is how Tinubu, Christopher Musa, and the delegitimized governors, how they roll. What is the reason? To continue to perpetuate themselves in power so they can brand anyone, anything. It doesn't matter. And when I listen to the senator today that says the role of the government, I see that Nigeria does not have it, and they can never give that. And that is why we go through all the civil and legal way to ensure that Nigeria leaves Biafra land. We will also use the modus of self-defense to ensure Nigeria leaves our land. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for that update. That's a very, very important one. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank
So,
you, Your
Honorable,
Excellency.
yeah, Honorable Mouthpiece, continue, please.
Thank you, nwanyị ka nwanyị efọ mụrụ Biafra. Nne ka nne, asị m Chukwu gozie gị. Chukwu gozie gị ezi nne. Nneọma.
Let's look at when you were the lead counsel for Nnamdi Kanu on this matter. How did you navigate all the booby traps, the landmines, everything to the point when you step out or step down as the lead counsel?
My stint as lead counsel was very fulfilling. I cannot complain. I am trained to handle cases, even when the cases are this tough, such as the case of Nnamdi Kanu. You will recall that I assumed the role of lead counsel in February of 2024. And the first step I took when that happened was to file for restoration of his bail. I had anchored this application on what the Supreme Court had said when they remitted this case back to the High Court. The Supreme Court has said it point and plain, clearly in a concurring judgment, that the revocation of his bail was unfair and it shouldn't have happened, and that the revocation smacked of suspicion of partiality on the part of the High Court that revoked it. And the Supreme Court also cited with approval the judgment I had obtained in January of 2022 from the High Court of Abia State, which condemned the invasion of Nnamdi Kanu's house in September 2017 and awarded him 1 billion naira. And the High Court had blamed that invasion for being the sole reason Nnamdi Kanu had to leave Nigeria and failed to appear at his trial. So the Supreme Court blamed the government squarely, totally and absolutely, for what the government termed jumping of bail on the part of Nnamdi Kanu. So the Supreme Court said basically that he didn't jump bail. So for those reasons, a High Court should have taken the sound decision of revoking his bail. So, and I proceeded to file, but it was denied. And then I appealed the denial to the Court of Appeal. The second step I took to test whether the field of play was going to be fair was to challenge the jurisdiction of the court to subject him to trial. There were judicial issues inherent in his case. Number one was that the charge sheet or the offenses he was alleged to have committed stemmed from broadcasts he made from a foreign soil. That foreign soil was not named, but the laws of Nigeria required that the location of the act leading to the offense be named if it occurred overseas. If it occurred abroad or in a foreign land, that is the only way jurisdiction can be conferred on the Federal High Court, because a determination has to be made first whether that very act or broadcast considered an offense where it occurred. So we know that Nnamdi Kanu was between Britain and Kenya on the dates specified on the charge sheet, which were between 2018 and 2021. He was either in Kenya or in Britain. And then you are going to say that you, Nnamdi Kanu, made a broadcast that led to an offense in Nigeria, and he didn't indicate where he made the broadcast, and it wasn't in Nigeria. But the laws of Nigeria In particular, the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act, Section 76, sub 1D3, required that before the Federal High Court can assert jurisdiction over a terrorism-related offense that emanated from a foreign soil, that country has to be named so that it will be determined whether that conduct is also considered a crime there. It didn't happen in this case. So on that basis and on the basis of other secondary factors and issues, I and my team, my able team, we raised an objection to the jurisdiction, to the authority of the court to subject him to trial. But that objection was denied in September. I think either August or September of 2024, whereupon we proceeded to the Court of Appeal to determine the question. And then from there, things began to unravel, to recusal of the judge, reassignment of the case, and so on and so forth, to new judge, all the way to March 2025, when I stepped down as lead counsel and handed over the mantle to Chief Kanagade. Look.
Yo, Chimo, Chimo, Mary better, Chimo, Mary better. Breaking news: U.S. back at engaging a swap near the Lekki, Chad. I'm sure on music. Try to why me. What did I do? But you guys know the truth. Ụmụnne m, o nwere ụdị ihe mere na ama m ka m hapụ iti ihe ọnụ ọ gbasaghị m. Let me not put it mad. Adabasoro ụzọ, ana m ekele gị. Na-ewere nwayọọ, ndị ọzọ ya anụ ya.
Bola Tinubu of Nigeria, Africans are watching you play the traitor of Africa. We are all watching you send your jets to Burkina Faso, a country that has been stabilized by the King of Africa. We are watching you as you thwart the coup of liberation for the people of Benin. You, Tinubu, are working with their country that has basically meant that people, black Africans and black people of Haiti will never ever find freedom. And you, Bola Tinubu, whatever your name is, you are working with a colonizer. We have seen that African lives do not matter. And France has basically been pivotal to the torture and mass unaliving of Africans. And yet you, instead of working with other Africans to find liberation, you have decided to be the self-appointed confidant of the persecutors of Africans. I am so sorry, but you know what? Africans are on the rise. It doesn't matter that the coup was thwarted in Benin, but Africa shall be free. Bola Tinubu.
Africa shall be free from the hand of the enemies. Africa shall be free. Nothing will stop it. Child.
Phase of our meeting to tell the President of the United States of America that it is now time to separate the Biafrans and the Nigerians to allow peace to save the Christians. As long as the Fulanis are in Nigeria, Christians shall never have security and peace of mind. Mr. President, just on the 8th of December, in the Middle Belt of Adamawa State, Christian women were peacefully protesting in Adamawa State. Christian women. What happened? Nigerian soldiers, Nigerian army came down and opened fire on them and shot dead 9 Christian women. They will never do this to the Fulani Muslims. But Christian women were massacred on the 8th of December simply because they are Christians. So as long as the Fulanis are here with us in Nigeria, Christians will have no peace and security. And that's why we are pleading to Mr. President to separate the Christians and the Muslims to allow peace to reign, as President George W. Bush did in Sudan. Mr. President, I just give you the numbers or the states that we want to be separated from us, the 10 Muslim states of northern Nigeria. I also make an appeal that America allows them with the Quran and the Sharia law. Let them go with the Sharia law. And we, the Christians, we go with our Bible and our cross. This is our Bible here and our cross. This is the Christians of Biafra to be separated from the Muslims. The 10 Muslim states that must be allowed to be independent are Sokoto, Zamfara, Kebbi, Katsina, Jigawa, Kano, Bauchi, Gombe, Yobe, and Borno State. Mr. President, these are the 10 Muslim states that must be allowed to be independent. Then you allow we Christians our Bible and our cross from Kaduna State to whole Middle Belt and down to the Atlantic Ocean, that is the Republic of Biafra, including Southwest Cameroon. So allow the Christians of our Bible and our cross, and allow the Muslims to go along with their Quran and their Sharia law. Let both sides be separated to allow peace to reign. With the cross of Jesus Christ, we said to Mr. President, it's time to separate the Christians and the Muslims of Nigeria to allow peace to reign, to end the ongoing killings of our people. And finally, Mr. President, during the 2020 United States presidential election, these same Muslims, Fulanis, control the Nigerian government, and the British government, and the Italian government, they rigged the 2020 US presidential election and rigged you out and impose Joe Biden and the American people and the world. It's now time to pay them back. It's now time for you to announce that Biafra should be independent. I remember this, Mr. President, that these people behind me here are the Christians, the wandering Jews of West Africa, as was defined by Henry Kissinger, that these people here, the Biafran people, are the wandering Jews of West Africa, and it's time now to separate the Biafra and Nigeria to allow peace to reign. Can you say amen? Amen. Mr. President, there's nothing else to do. We don't want any more delegation to come to Nigeria. We want you to separate the Biafra and Nigeria to allow peace to reign. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless President Donald J. Trump. May God bless Israel. And may God bless the wandering Jews of West Africa, the Biafran people who are today crying for independence. And we say, may God bless the United States of America, Israel, and the Biafran people. Can you say amen? Amen. Shalom.
Amen. 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 Collins ndewo. Collins ndewo. Collins. Sobi. Ndewo.
The National Security Committee was convened as a matter of urgency, and we have just come from it. This afternoon, there has been a devastating terrorist incident at Bondi at the Hanukkah by the Sea celebration. This is a targeted attack on Jewish Australians on the first day of Hanukkah, which should be a day of joy, a celebration of faith. An act of evil anti-Semitism, terrorism that has struck the heart of our nation. An attack on Jewish Australians is an attack on every Australian, and every Australian tonight will be, like me, devastated on this attack on our way of life. There is no place for this hate, violence and terrorism in our nation. Let me be clear, we will eradicate it. Amidst this vile act of violence and hate will emerge a moment of national unity where Australians across the board will embrace their fellow Australians of Jewish faith at this dark moment for our nation. Our police and security agencies are working to determine anyone associated with this outrage. Our agencies will provide you with factual updates as quickly as possible as they continue to emerge. The evil that was unleashed at Bondi Beach today is beyond comprehension, and the trauma and loss that families are dealing with tonight is beyond anyone's worst nightmare. Australians have had their lives cruelly stolen and many have been injured. For all Australians, our first thoughts are with those in the terrible early hours of their grief. We are also thinking of everyone being treated for their injuries, and many of whom are alive right now because of the courage and quick action of the New South Wales Police and the first responders who rushed to their aid, as well as the courage of everyday Australians who, without hesitating, put themselves in danger in order to keep their fellow Australians safe. We have seen Australians today run towards danger in order to help others. These Australians are heroes and their bravery has saved lives. As Prime Minister, I say on behalf of all Australians to the Jewish community, we stand with you, we embrace you, and we reaffirm tonight that you have every right to be proud of who you are and what you believe. You have the right to worship and study and live and work in peace and safety, and you enrich us as a nation. You should never have to endure the loss that you have suffered today. You should never know the fear that you know tonight. We will dedicate every resource required to making sure you are safe and protected. You are Australian and all Australians are with you today and every day. My fellow Australians, I say tonight that there are nights that tear at our nation's soul. In this moment of darkness, we must be each other's light. Hold on to the true character of the country that we love. Australia is stronger than the cowards who attacked innocent people today. Australia is braver than those who seek to make us afraid. Australia will never submit to division, violence or hatred. We will see justice done and we will come through this together.
Umunnem, good night. I love you all. Kemesian. Can you tomorrow? Ndị Australia emega ndị Jewish attack in Australia. But you couldn't get protect anyị ndị Jewish